heat index values beyond 105. So as we always say, be safe out there. Check on the pets and the elderly. Stay in the air conditioning if possible and stay hydrated.
Very good advice.
Very
yes.
good tips.
Yes. Now let's take a look at what we have on the board currently. Mid-70s for both Mobile and Pensacola. Heat index values sitting at 80 for the city of Five Flags. We do have northwest winds in both metro spots, but our storm tracker radar is coming in dry and quiet for the time being. But we are going to see about a 1 in 5 shot for an isolated shower or storm later today. As usual, any storms that show up in the summertime can produce heavy amounts of rain, and they can be big lightning producers. So make sure if you hear those rumbles of thunder, you head indoors immediately. But at least those storms will help knock the temperatures down for those of you that get them. And believe me, you'll want it today. Highs will be in the upper 80s by 10 a.m., mid 90s this afternoon. We'll sort it all out in your full forecast and even give you an update on what's happening in the tropics. We'll cover it all in just a matter of minutes. Eric?
Thank you, Michael. It's now 7:01 and in the news this morning. An investigation is underway today to try and discover what went wrong, what caused an experienced skydiver to fall to his death. The accident happened Saturday when skydiving instructor Jimmy Horak was performing the same tandem jump that he's performed for years, when all of a sudden tragedy struck and Horak, as well as a first-time student, took a fatal fall. Authorities say that after the jump, the two were found hours later in a heavily wooded marsh. Officials say that when they got to the scene, they were able to rush the student to the hospital, but Horak was dead. Longtime friends of his are devastated by the loss.
Disbelief. It's just you know, occasionally in the small community that skydiving is, something will happen to someone you know because it's such a small group of people. But for something like this to happen to Jim Horak is just incredulous.
Authorities say that a member of the skydiving team told investigators that something didn't seem right with the rigging equipment. An autopsy is scheduled for today, and investigators with the FAA are looking into the incident.
Meanwhile, a 53-year-old woman is behind bars this morning after apparently attempting, officials say, to murder her granddaughter. Authorities say the grandmother, Shirley Bowman, choked her 4-year-old granddaughter, Ireland Carroll, until she was unconscious. They say she appeared to be having a psychotic episode. Police say they received a call around 1 in the morning Friday from a resident saying that a lady knocked on her door. The lady, who's believed to be Bowman, apparently told the resident, according to officials, that she was being chased. Now, when police arrived at the scene, they say they found little Ireland laying face first, unconscious on the side of the road. Fox 10 News has tried to talk to Bowman's family several times, but we have been told to leave. Now, Ireland is listed in stable condition at USA Children's and Women's Hospital. A Pritchard police officer is expected in court today for a bond hearing after being arrested for drug charges. Last Friday, 33-year-old Edmund Burke spent the night on the other side of a jail cell after sheriff's deputies charged him with trafficking cocaine and possession of marijuana. Burke is a patrol officer in Pritchard. Neighbors living near Burke were stunned to hear about his arrest.
Disappointed because as far as I knew of Edmund, he's been a good neighbor. He was never any problem, nothing that would lead you to think that anything like that was going on. So I personally don't believe what's being put on the news.
A second suspect, 41-year-old Raymond Williams of Chickasaw, is also charged with drug trafficking in this case.
Authorities across the Gulf Coast are hoping that you can help them reel in some wanted suspects. First, Fairhope police need your help to catch an armed robbery suspect. We've been showing you this surveillance video from the Summit Station on Section Street since last Wednesday. That's when police say the gunman walked in, took money, and ran off. If you recognize him, please call Fairhope Police right away. And call the Mobile County Sheriff's Office if you know anything about this armed incident. 3 masked men here robbed the Chevron station off of Highway 90 a little over a week ago. Not only did the crooks take money from the cash register, they stole from the customers and took off in a customer's car. The store owner is offering a $2,000 reward for any tips that lead to a conviction. Also, Mobile police are hoping that you can help them catch 2 separate bank robbers. This is a surveillance picture from the Compass Bank on Bel Air Boulevard. They're hoping that it will lead to an arrest. Police say the man you see here robbed the bank last Friday. This is a picture from the Wells Fargo Bank on University Boulevard. Meantime, police say it was held up last week. Authorities believe the suspect might also be responsible for a bank robbery in Louisiana. Now, if you know anything about either crime, please call Mobile Police right away. And lastly, take a good look at these two suspected thieves. Mobile police say that the pair snatched a woman's purse at Hobby Lobby last month and have since racked up $14,000 in credit card charges. Now, if you know who these people are, please do the right thing and give the police more information.
Still to come here on Fox 10 News this morning, the family of a Wilmer man who went missing 2 years ago, hoping someone can come forward with information surrounding his disappearance. That story is straight ahead. Also, Dr. Shannon Waters with Greater Mobile Urgent Care is in the studio this morning. She's going to tell us a little bit about the best ways to prevent a stomach illness. It's coming up in your only local news at 7 a.m. 7:05 is our time right now on this Monday morning. Thanks for joining us right here on Fox 10 News, and we'll be right back.
Thanks for watching Fox 10.
Cook like a pro. Dress to impress. Be healthy. Be well. And all it with the money. And get it all with one show. Studio 10. If it's happening on the Gulf Coast, it's happening here. Hey, sponsored by Barrel Body Burn. Slugs that are wrapped up. And the tails packed with oils. It's all in the most fun back bay. Boomtown Casino. Get more bang for your luck.
That. I'll be right back. Hey, did you understand my text?
You're watching Fox 10 News with Sarah Wall, Eric Reynolds, and meteorologist Michael White. Fox 10 News in high definition television.
And welcome back. Your time 7:08 as we take a look at your weather headlines for this Monday. Going to be a very hot one today with temperatures moving into the mid-90s. Heat index values well beyond that, looking to max out beyond 105 for some of you. Now, we will have an isolated shower or storm possible, but the chance of rain only 20%. And if you're curious about what is happening in the tropics, things are still calm and quiet. But remember, August is one of the peak months of the season, but dry air over the Atlantic has really helped us out and prevented tropical development from showing up, and everything in the Caribbean and the Gulf is quiet as well. We're not expecting to see any tropical development over the next 5 days. Temperatures on the board currently in the mid to upper 70s around the area, but heat index values for some of you are already beyond 80, and with a high temperature of about 94, you know it's going to feel a lot warmer than that. The heat index on Sunday maxed out at around 105. We're going to see that trend again today. So you know the routine. You got to keep yourself hydrated and cool. Do everything you can to make sure you maintain not being able to dehydrate so quickly on a day like today, because early August are the dog days. This is based on climatological averages, the hottest time of the year for us on the Gulf Coast, and it's going to feel like it. Now the sky is starting off partly to mostly sunny, but you notice these thicker clouds rolling in across the inland sections of the viewing area, and you notice the light showers showing up north of Meridian as well. That is all in association with what's known as a short wave, which is basically a little pocket of upper level energy that kicks off showers and storms. The reason why that's relevant to us is because we have northwesterly flow aloft. We see that a lot in the summertime, but whenever you get that flow pattern, all the showers and storms that form around Tennessee, Missouri, or Arkansas, it's going to be like sliding down a hill. They're going to ride that flow until they impact the counties and our viewing area. We'll feel the impact of that this afternoon and even into tonight for some of you. High today 94, a very toasty day with a light north wind. Tonight we'll dip down to around 75 degrees. Scattered storm threat going up for the middle of the week and then tapering back off by Thursday. We'll talk more about the forecast for the immediate time frame and also what you can expect for Friday and the weekend. I'll have the update on that in 10 minutes. And Sarah and Eric, they have more news after you see this.
And welcome back. Time check now 7:13 on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 10 News. I'm Eric Reynolds. In addition to spending these last few weekends of summer at the movie theater or even the beach, many are getting ready for back to school. Well, shoppers fill the stores in Alabama and Florida for the annual sales tax holiday. The states and other cities waive the sales tax on all the back to school necessities. That included school supplies, uniforms, books, and even computers. Well, we caught up with some parents who were thrilled to be saving some cash.
I was watching the news while we were on vacation, and I found out it was tax-free weekend in Mobile. So I said, well, we'll stop by on our way through and pick up some stuff, for the kids. Like, I haven't gotten uniforms or anything. So 2 birds, 1 stone. I get a break, and I get my kids' school supplies.
Uniforms, paper, pencil, all kind of school supplies. Oh, it made me feel great. I feel great. I'm excited. No tax.
And the tax-free weekend ended midnight Sunday.
Federal health officials say an intestinal illness is to blame for causing nearly 400 people to be sickened across the country. Officials say the stomach bug outbreak has spanned 15 states, including Florida and Texas. Joining us now here in the studios is Dr. Shannon Waters from Greater Mobile Urgent Care. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Let's talk a little bit about this stomach bug. It's got a big name, Cyclospora.
Cyclospora.
Cyclospora. What is this?
It's a parasite, which is just a tiny little organism that can cause illness in human beings if ingested in the right form.
All right, so it's on fruits and vegetables this time around is what they're saying. So
Right.
how do we prevent getting this?
Well, this outbreak was on bagged salads that say pre-washed, and those are generally very clean. This is one of those rare instances where some of that parasite or germ escaped their cleaning process. So people who ingested it, and some, not all, had a diarrhea illness that came from that.
All right, so another question would be, how do you know if you have something like this and it's not just a general, oh, my stomach's upset?
Well, if you have diarrhea, fever, bloating, cramping, then you're going to assume you got some sort of sickness, maybe not associated with a bagged salad right away. And if you come to the doctor, we probably won't say, oh, you have cyclospora. We'll say you probably have a foodborne toxin, or you have what we call the stomach flu, which is a viral illness. And we won't do anything but supportive care unless it looks like you need something else. Now, I'm not sure if in these instances they sent off these cultures because this was lasting longer, or because it was centered, there were several people who all had one thing in common. But most of the time when you come to see us, we will treat your symptoms, not necessarily tell you exactly what virus or bacteria or organism this is.
Okay, and so I guess the question would be, when you wash your fruits and vegetables with water, does that get rid of this stuff?
If you wash your fruits and vegetables correctly, bagged, ready to eat, pre-washed fruits and vegetables, I would not recommend re-washing, because opening those, putting them maybe in your sink or in a colander that's been sitting out, actually may contain more germs than what's left on the fruit or vegetable after it's been cleaned with a chlorine solution in the processing plant. So you may be doing more harm than good. But if you are buying fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, washing your hands, always the most important thing, washing your hands very well first, making sure that you use clean, cold water, scrubbing with a vegetable brush if it has a tough outer skin, and then drying with a paper towel is the best way to do this. You don't have to use any of the sprays that are sold. Don't use bleach or anything like that, because some of these fruits and vegetables will absorb that. Simply cleaning with water, cleaning with a brush, it's all you need to do.
All right, Dr. Waters, thank you very much.
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Waters with Greater Mobile Urgent Care. Some tips to help make sure, or at least to try to keep us from getting sick.
Right, exactly.
Thank you very much.
You're
Eric?
welcome.
All right, thanks a lot, Sarah. On the other side of the break this morning, we'll be checking in again with Aaron for the look into your traffic conditions on this Monday morning. And it's been nearly 2 years since a Wilmer man went missing. Now the man's family is hoping that someone can shed some light on his disappearance. The story is straight ahead on your only local news at 7 a.m. Your time check again, we're approaching 7:18. Please stay with us.
7:20 is our time right now on this Monday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 10 News. I'm Sarah Wall.
And I'm Eric Reynolds. Good Monday morning, everyone.
Time to see how things are shaping up on the roadways at this hour this morning.
Let's take a look with Aaron for our latest look at traffic conditions right before 7:30. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning once again, and right now Mobile police are taking care of several accidents along our main roadways, starting off Theodore Dawes Road at Nan Gray Davis, also an accident at 3 Notch at McDonald Road, and Cody at Airport Boulevard. Traffic still moving at the posted speed limit on both I-65 and I-10 all throughout the Mobile area this morning. In Pensacola, we have an accident with injuries that's been causing mild slowdowns at West Michigan Avenue and Mobile Highway, so give yourself extra time to get around there. No problems moving up and down I-110, and traffic's been trouble-free across I-10 throughout Pensacola and Milton. I'm Aaron Adams with your Fox 10 News traffic.
All right, Aaron, thanks a lot, and we'll check in with Aaron for another traffic report in our next half hour this morning at around 7:45.
Witnesses of the deadly crash and accident in Venice Beach are speaking out about the mayhem that killed one person and injured several others. We want to warn you about the images that we may be about to show you may be offensive to some viewers. Now, this is a chaotic scene from the Venice Boardwalk. 38-year-old Nathan Campbell plowed his vehicle straight through a tourist hotspot and into the crowd. Emergency crews were on hand to tend to the injured. We're told that the woman who was killed was on her honeymoon. Shelly Gomez came to the woman and her husband's aid, and she describes what happened.
The woman that passed away, when I arrived, I was directly across from where the car entered. I have a space on Dudley, and so when the car happened, it was sort of, surreal moment, but everybody moved to go and help people. And so when I arrived, I heard that that the woman was critically injured. She was bleeding.
Campbell was booked for investigation of murder and is being held on a $1 million bond. A Venice Cafe is holding a fundraiser and vigil for the victims today.
The family of a missing Wilmer man is holding a candlelight vigil tonight. 27-year-old Jeffrey Holloman was last seen walking south along Highway 98 near the state line 2 years ago. His family has been searching for him ever since. The last clue to turn up regarding Holloman's disappearance was a ball cap found on a resident's property just off of Highway 98.
We're kind of at a dead end. We don't know which way to turn, and we don't know who to go to and who can help us.
The candlelight vigil will be held at 7 tonight at the Bo Holloman's home on Old Pascagoula Road in Theodore. If you know anything about this case, please call the Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
I'm meteorologist Michael White here in the Fox 10 Storm Tracker Center. It is another warm day on the Gulf Coast. The sky starting off sunny, but temperatures will be in the upper 80s as we hit the 10 o'clock hour and easily move into the mid-90s this afternoon. And we all know it's going to feel even warmer than that. We'll sort it all out in your forecast after the break.
Welcome back. Time check now, 7:26 on your Monday morning. And it's time now to take a look and see what's cooking in the Studio 10 kitchen this morning. And we've got Kenneth and Ina Urbans with Loaves and Fishes. And they'll show us how to make the fat burger. That's with a PHAT this morning. To get that recipe, you can see how it's made today on Studio 10 right after the newscast.
And outside, temperatures are already rather warm, starting off in the mid to upper 70s across the entire viewing area, but feeling like we are in the 80-plus degree range when you include the humidity. Mobile, your heat index value at 80. Gulf Shores, yours is at 84. Same for Fort Walton Beach and Pensacola. You're seeing a current heat index value at 82. Our high today projected to be about 94, heat index beyond 105, and we have northwesterly flow aloft. And in the summer, we get that a lot. Basically, what happens when we see that is storms that form to the north of us, like North Mississippi or Arkansas or Missouri, they ride that upper level flow pattern until they slide down into the counties in our viewing area, and we'll feel the impact of that this afternoon and even into this evening. The storms will also form randomly. They can be big lightning producers, dump heavy amounts of rain, typical for early August, and we will see most of those showers and storms fading away this afternoon and into this evening. But then late tonight, some of the storms that are well to the north of us will attempt to enter our viewing area, but dry air should squander it before we head into sunrise on Tuesday. High this afternoon at the beach, 92 with a water temperature at 88. The green flag will be flying. Highs inland will max out at 94. It will be a very toasty day on tap with a light north wind ahead. Tonight will dip down between 73 and 77 degrees with an isolated shower possible, but most of you staying rain-free. And up on the 7-day planner, the scattered storm threat increases for the middle of the week, and then we see it declining by week's end and especially on Saturday and Sunday. Highs will remain in the lower 90s each afternoon, and lows will stay into the middle 70s. Sarah?
All right, Michael, thanks. It's now 7:28. The race is heating up for the Mobile mayoral race, and you have another chance to hear from the candidates. We'll tell you when on the other side of the break. And folks continue to oppose a controversial pipeline in Mobile County. The latest in the battle against the pipeline coming up on your only local news at 7:30. 7:28 is our time right now. Thanks for joining us right here on Fox 10 News, and we'll be right back.
You're watching Fox 10 News with Sarah Wall, Eric Reynolds, and meteorologist Michael White. Fox 10 News in high-definition television.
Good morning, and thanks for watching Fox 10 News on this Monday morning. Today is August the 5th. I'm Sarah Wall.
And I'm Eric Reynolds. Good Monday morning, everyone. In the news this morning, we continue the countdown to the elections in Mobile, and you have more chances to hear from the candidates. Incumbent Mayor Sam Jones is facing off with two challengers, businessman Sandy Stimson and educator Dr. Doris Brown. All three candidates will sit down with Fox 10 News again this week. Now, we want to ask the questions that most matter to you. Post any questions that you have on our Facebook page, and even the anchor Bob Grip will pose them to the candidates. Meantime, the Common Sense campaign in Mobile is hosting a candidate forum this evening. Organizers say that you will have a chance to meet the candidates running for Mobile mayor and the City Council District 4 seat. The event gets underway at 5:30 this evening at the Tillman's Corner Community Center on Carroll Plantation Road. Then another mayoral forum is set for Tuesday, August 13th. It will be held at Davidson High School starting at 7 that evening. We also continue to look forward to the race for Alabama's District 1 congressional seat. It was vacated by Joe Bonner on Friday, where he resigned. 8 Republicans and 1 independent have announced their intentions to run. They have to qualify by 5 p.m. today. The special primary election is set for September 24th. Meantime, you have a chance to hear from the candidates. The Baldwin County Young Republicans, in partnership with Yellowhammer Politics, are hosting a congressional debate. It gets underway tonight at 6 p.m. at the McCullough Institute at Kraft Farms in Gulf Shores.
Opponents of an oil pipeline being built through the Big Creek Lake watershed in Mobile County continue to speak out. Dozens of people gathered for this protest at the Big Creek Lake Bridge off Moffett Road. Many residents and local leaders want Plains Southcap, the company behind the project, to move the pipeline out of the watershed and away from the local water supply.
Big Creek Lake is the sole drinking water supply for 500,000 people. All of Mobile County, Mobile City, Sims, Chickasaw, Saraland, Spanish Fort, Biola Battery, on and on.
If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people become more aware and maybe we get to the right person, they can do something. I mean, everybody should be standing up against this right now.
Next up for the pipeline opponents is a factual update meeting at the Five Rivers on the Causeway. It is set for tomorrow evening beginning at 5:30. Now, Fox 10 News has been working for weeks to uncover details about the pipeline, including parts of it that have already been built on Mobile County School Board property. We followed up on a call from a viewer about this section of pipeline running behind Taylor White Elementary School. Tommy Sheffield, the school board's executive director of operations, tells us the board allowed the pipeline on its property to avoid conflict over nearby residential lands. Sheffield says the board does not see the pipeline as a threat.
I think it's in the normal case of business, this is an everyday thing in our industry of landowners. I think it's going to be maybe new or alarming to the communities that's receiving it, but large landowners have dealt with these issues for a long time.
Fox 10 News also revealed a 60-year-old Plains Southcap pipeline that already passes through a section of the Big Creek Lake watershed. You can learn more about that existing pipeline by reading the in-depth stories we posted on our website. You'll also find a wealth of information about the new pipeline, such as the approved construction route and Plains Southcap's property lawsuit against the Mobile Area Water and Sewer System. It's all there on fox10tv.com.
Mobile County prosecutors are hoping to hear this week from a circuit court judge who has been asked to set a hearing on 2 motions in a domestic violence case that we've been following. It involves a man accused of choking his son and forcing the teen to stay in a shed during the day. Assistant District Attorney Nikki Patterson wants the judge to force David Diamond's lawyer to step down. Steve Giardini, a former assistant DA, was in charge of 2 investigations involving Diamond in 2002 and 2008. Patterson has also requested a no-contact order to keep Diamond away from the son that he's accused of choking. If the order is granted, Patterson says that Diamond would have 2 options.
The father could leave the home and leave the child in the home with another responsible adult. Or if he chose not to do that, then DHR could be ordered to place the child in an appropriate environment.
Patterson says that it will be difficult to proceed with the domestic violence case if the child remains in Diamond's custody. The Robertsdale Police Department may be charging some juveniles for a recent graffiti spree at Garrett Park. The incident was discovered by Public Works, which in turn cleaned up the mess. But another instance of similar graffiti can't be touched because it's on private property. It's on the backside of a building facing a public walking trail. People who use the trail find the graffiti offensive, and the police chief agrees.
To me, it's offensive if you go on somebody else's property and write anything on it without their permission.
Robertsdale police say to contact them if you see graffiti. They'll either clean it up or contact the property owner. Well, Major League Baseball ready to crack down on their stars who have allegedly used performance-enhancing drugs.
And Yankee star Alex Rodriguez is in the crosshairs. Those details are coming up. Michael?
Thanks a lot, Sarah. So far this morning, a lot of you have been waking up to sunshine, but things are very warm out there. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s and will push into the upper 80s by 10 o'clock. And we could see a few isolated showers and storms before the day is over as well. We'll cover it in your full forecast, and that's coming up on the other side of the break.
How's that? Do you put more than that?
A little bit, yeah. You want it to be seen.
You're watching Fox 10 News in high-definition television.
And thanks for joining us here on Fox 10 News on this Monday morning. It's now 7:40. I'm Sarah Wall. There are reports this morning that Major League Baseball will probably move to suspend New York Yankee star Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod is expected to be suspended today for his links to a Florida clinic accused of distributing banned performance-enhancing drugs. The length of the suspension is unknown at this time, but according to sources, the suspension could last through the 2014 season. A-Rod's agent has previously said that they will appeal any suspension the league tries to impose.
As we start off looking at your weather headlines for this Monday, a very hot day on tap with temperatures moving into the mid-90s. Heat index values projected to be beyond 105 degrees for some of you. Now, you may get a little rain relief depending on where you live. The probability of seeing an isolated shower or storm about 1 out of 5. And anyone that gets that shower will see their temperature fall by as much as 10 degrees, which is excellent on a day like today. As far as the tropics, things out there are still calm and quiet, even though August is one of the peak months of the season. But dry air over the Atlantic has really hindered tropical development, which is great for us, and everything in the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico continues to remain calm and quiet, and tropical development is not expected over the next 5 days. Temperatures right now mid to upper 70s around the Gulf Coast. High this afternoon projected to be 94 with our heat index around 105. Our sky starts off sunny and then turns partly sunny this afternoon. And we get a 20% chance of an isolated shower or storm. And just like what we've seen throughout this entire summer, any storm that does show up can be a very big lightning producer, and we can see heavy amounts of rain being dumped over a select area in a very short period of time. But most of those storms will fade away later this evening. As far as what we have right now, the sky mainly sunny south of US 84, partly cloudy north of US 84, and you notice thicker clouds and a few light showers tracking across northern Mississippi and northern Alabama. Now, the reason why that is relevant to us is because there is a short wave that is responsible for some of these showers showing up and responsible for the big storms brewing up over Missouri. Now, a short wave is a little pocket of energy in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and the reason why the storms over Missouri are important to us is because we have northwest flow aloft. So those storms are going to ride the flow and could impact counties in our area by late this afternoon and into tonight. We see that flow a lot in the summertime, and that's what we're projected to see again today. High this afternoon, 94, very toasty with a north wind at 4 to 8 miles an hour. Tonight we'll dip down to 75 degrees. The scattered storm threat ramping up by the middle of the week and then tapering back down by Thursday. Now, we'll let you know if we continue to see the rain chances fall as we head in towards your Friday and weekend. We'll discuss that in full detail in your next weather segment happening at 7:56. Eric?
Thanks, Michael. Our time now 7:43, and time to check in with Cherish to find out what's cooking today and on tap as well for Studio 10. Good morning, Cherish.
Good morning. It is sizzling here in our Studio 10 kitchen. I'm not quite awake yet, but we're going to get there because this food is smelling so good. It's waking me up. Ida and Kenny here from Loaves and Fishes, and you guys have quite a few things. I know Ina's over there making a beautiful salad, but you're going to show us how to cook a sandwich today. Now, what's this one called?
Okay, the sandwich we're doing today is the Fat Burger. It looks just like this one right here. And we'll be doing that. It's got a huge beef patty on it, ham, bacon, about every vegetable you can grow in a garden. And it's just a really good sandwich. The bun is 2 toasted cheese sandwiches, and that's what we're going to cook today. But we also want to display this as our nuclear hot dog and some salads that we have to offer. The salads for the people that are watching their figure.
Everything looks great. So we will show you how to make this and tell you a little more about these other items that are on the menu at Loaves and Fishes. Also, we'll be talking about our pet of the week. If you're looking to adopt, now is a great time. We'll have the folks in from the Animal Rescue Foundation. And school is about to start, so if you want to plan a party right before school starts, just to kind of, all right, you know, school's on the way, summer is on the way out, we're going to tell you how you can get a great party together very quickly with the folks from Access Magazine.
All right, Cherish, thank you very much. We'll be seeing you shortly in about 15 minutes. Studio 10 kicking off at 8 o'clock this morning, immediately following our newscast. Don't miss it.
Still ahead here on Fox 10 News, Aaron returns with an update on our traffic conditions on this Monday morning.
Plus, thanks to the sales tax holiday over the weekend, many of you have marked off several things on your back-to-school shopping list, and that includes school uniforms.
In today's Monday Moms, we'll help you make sure your child meets all the guidelines set out by your schools. 7:45 is our time right now. Thanks for joining us right here on Fox 10 News, and we'll be right back.
Time now 7:47 on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 10 News. I'm Eric Reynolds. Well, time again to check in with Aaron to find out about the traffic conditions on the roadways as we get closer to 8 a.m. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning once again, and Mobile Police are now clearing accidents from Theodore Dawes Road at Nan Gray Davis, 3 Notch at McDonald Road, and Cody Road at Airport Boulevard. We've had delay-free conditions on both I-65 and I-10 all throughout Mobile so far this morning. In Pensacola, we have an accident with injuries being cleared now from West Michigan Avenue at Mobile Highway. No problems moving across either I-10 or I-110 for your ride into work. I'm Aaron Adams with your Fox 10 News traffic.
The calendar has flipped. It is August. This is back to school month. Are you ready? That's kind of a loaded question, right? Because there is a lot that goes into getting our kids ready for school. School supplies, books, and uniforms definitely top that list. Each school has its own requirements when it comes to uniforms, from public to private to Catholic, wherever your child may go. And it's important that we do follow all the guidelines when it comes to uniforms. The good news is local stores are ready for us. They actually know what we need, and it's important we get it right.
We have, we call it the Blue Book because my first book was blue, but they're every color now. Anyway, it's got every school from Mobile County Public School to Saraland school system to Chickasaw school system, even Washington County. All the public schools we try and have their listing, and then our private and Catholic schools. Actually, it's very specific by grade and gender what the schools want the children to wear.
Also, many schools are pretty specific when it comes to uniforms. We don't want our kids to get into a situation with a uniform problem that could have been avoided pretty easily. And in case you are wondering about new trends perhaps this year, we are told the girls' accessories are going brighter and bolder, so something to consider when you're picking up those extras for your children. And just to note, moms and dads, we've heard that a number of schools have made some changes to their uniforms this year, so be sure to check before you buy. We'll have much more information for you on Back to School on our website. Just go to fox10tv.com and look for the Monday Moms page. Eric?
Thanks, Sarah. Some great information there. Our time now 7:50, and a local youth outreach program is aiming to empower young people to strive for a better future.
I say, why are we here? We taking back our youth. And how we gonna take them back? We take them back by force.
The group held this youth march Saturday afternoon in Langan Park in Mobile. Carolyn Quinney is the pastor of the House of Refuge Ministries. She says to secure the future they want, our youth can start by separating themselves from the past.
You don't have to be a product of where you came from. That's the message I would give to our young people, because a lot of times we feel like because we came from poverty, or we were raised in a bad neighborhood, or we was, mother didn't raise us, father didn't raise us, that's it. But you don't have to be a product from what you came from, but you can be a product of where you're going.
House of Refuge hopes to make the march an annual event.
7:51 is our time right now on this Monday morning as we start to get our momentum going here in the month of August. You can feel it when you step outside. At least it's kind of toasty out there.
Yeah, Michael's calling them the dog days, of course, and we're talking triple-digit feelings outside.
Yeah, by in the afternoons, huh?
Exactly, yeah. The heat indices, they're going to be beyond 105 degrees, guys. That's the temperature that actually feels like outside when you include the humidity. We felt that yesterday, and we're going to feel it again today. But right now, temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s, but in the dog days of summer, it's predominantly in the morning where things actually feel the most tolerable. We'll sort out your full forecast not only for today, but for the entire week, and we'll start Studio 10 after you see this.
Welcome back. Time check now, 7:54 on your Monday morning. In the international headlines this morning, people caught in the path of heavy flooding. It's our top story as Fox's Harris Faulkner takes us around the world in 80 seconds.
Pakistan. A monsoon dumping several inches of rain in a matter of hours. Doctors blaming deaths on building collapses and electrocution. Officials warn more rain may be on the way. Japan. The country's space agency launching a rocket delivering tons of cargo to the International Space Station. And seated among the supplies, a tiny robot, the first of its kind to help the crew on board the station conduct experiments and perform routine maintenance. France. Sightseeing. This is different. A blimp giving passengers a bird's eye view of Paris and the French countryside. Tourists already lining up to pay more than $300 for just a half-hour tour. This new airship kept afloat by helium, a non-flammable gas, which builders say makes the ship safer than earlier versions. China. Talk about a rough commute. A man forced to pull over after his car's engine catches fire. Other commuters just kept right on going as he scrambled to find a fire extinguisher. What caused it? It's possible the current extreme heat wave may have been responsible. And that's a wrap on this Fox trip around the world in 80 seconds.
And as we start things off here from our smart board in the Fox 10 Storm Tracker Center, I'm sure many of you are curious as to what exactly we maxed out at yesterday for the afternoon highs because of that sweltering heat and humidity we dealt with. Well, around Mobile and Pensacola, you saw afternoon highs right at 95 degrees. It was a little cooler along the coastline because of the cooler Gulf waters. Gulf Shores, you saw an afternoon high of 91. Fort Walton Beach, you saw an afternoon high of 92. But we all know the actual temperature doesn't really mean much in August. It's how hot does it feel outside when you factor in the humidity, and this is how warm it felt in several locations yesterday afternoon. Pensacola, you saw a heat index of around 107, Brooklyn at 106, Crestview at 106, and Destin at 105. Now, we will see similar temperature ranges today and similar heat index ranges today. As far as the heat and humidity relief, that'll come in the form of some isolated showers, which will pop in a little later. But right now on the storm tracker, things are quiet. And as we move in throughout the afternoon, we'll have a 1 in 5 shot for an isolated shower or storm. And most of you know the drill. Heavy rain and lots of lightning can all be expected underneath any summer storms. Temperatures right now are in the upper 70s for the entire viewing area with the exception of Gulf Shores. You're sitting at 81 degrees right now and your heat index value is at 86. So winning the battle in both heat and humidity. As far as the heat index values everywhere else, they're predominantly in the lower 80s. Evergreen, yours is at 79. Now, we are expecting a high of about 94 with a heat index of around 105, so keep yourself hydrated and cool today. Our sky is going to start off mostly sunny, but then we're going to see additional clouds rolling in from northwest to southeast, and some of these thunderstorms across North Arkansas and Missouri are going to ride this upper level flow towards our area as we head in towards late this afternoon and into tonight. Futurecast model plays that up pretty good with a few isolated showers and storms forming randomly by mid-morning. A lot of those fade away as we get closer to sunset, but some are going to linger into the evening hours, and then some that are far away from us right now are going to try to push in here after midnight. But the good news is once we move in towards daybreak on Tuesday, those storms are all going to dissipate and fade away. At the beach, we'll have a high of 92 with a water temperature of 88 degrees. The rip current risk low, so the green flags will be flying high and the UV index will be at 11. Highs inland max out at 94. Very toasty day with a north wind at 4 to 8 miles an hour. Tonight we'll dip down between 73 and 77 degrees with an isolated shower possible. But most of you will be staying rain-free tonight. And up on the 7-day planner, the scattered storm threat increases over the next couple of days. We'll see a 30% chance of rain tomorrow, 50% for your Wednesday, and then the rain chances taper back off to more scattered chances for Thursday and Friday. And then the odds of rain over the weekend, only about 1 out of 10 on both Saturday and Sunday, with high temperatures each afternoon remaining in the lower 90s and overnight lows each night staying in the mid-70s. And as we've said throughout the course of the morning, Eric, the end of July, the beginning of August are what's known as the dog days because based on climatological averages, it is the hottest time of the year on the Gulf Coast, and things are matching up perfectly with that.
Yeah, the dogs need you to make sure that you take care of them, right?
Oh, absolutely.
This time of the year.
My dog used to get shaved in the summertime.
Smart idea.
He hated it, but it kept him cool.
Yeah, good time.
It does indeed, yeah.
Michael, thank you very much, and thank you so much for joining us here on this Monday morning. Don't forget throughout your day, fox10tv.com for all of your news, as well as some weather updates on those temperatures.
Absolutely. We'll be doing that throughout the course of the day. Now we are approaching 8 a.m. and Eric, Sarah used to sit right here, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, she still does. She's just going somewhere right now.
That's right. Yeah, she's doing a little Joe Emer filling in for this Monday as Studio 10 starts now.